Hey everybody, Dragonfire here, and I'm coming at you with another one of my videos. Today we are continuing my series on the all-time NBA team list, and today I have for you the Orlando Magic. That's the Orlando Magic. All right, let's kick things off here. Let me first give a little background, a little history of the team. So they were founded in 1989. That was their first season, the 89 slash 90 season. So they kicked off the 90s as a new expansion franchise. And um, I believe that's the same year as the Minnesota Timberwolves, or was it the Miami Heat? No, it was the Minnesota Timberwolves because I think they split up the two Florida teams. So I think it was Charlotte Hornets and Miami Heat in 88 and Orlando Magic and Minnesota Timberwolves in 89. That as the league expanded there at the end of the 80s. Um, so um, they have been to the NBA Finals twice, and once that in 95, they were led by young Shaquille O'Neal. And then later, was it 2009, they were led by Dwight Howard. Um, and those are the two most successful uh, seasons in the history of the Orlando Magic. I think I'm not sure which was more of an upset because in the 2009 NBA Finals appearance, Um, I think some people were thinking maybe, um, the Boston Celtics were going to make the NBA Finals again, have a rematch against the Los Angeles Lakers from the year before. And um, that didn't happen, I believe, mainly due to injuries on the Boston Celtics team. I think Kevin Garnett got injured and so forth. And then some people thought maybe LeBron James would make his, I believe, would have been first finals appearance at the time, but um, then the Magic ended up winning the East instead. So they ended up going up against the Lakers and losing in 2009. But in 95, the Magic were still a very young team. Um, and Boy, people were excited about Shaq being possible next face of the NBA when he was already making the NBA Finals at such a young age and only his third season in the NBA. Shaq already led the Magic to the NBA Finals. So, um, pretty crazy going on there. And I think you know who the two players are who have argument to be the greatest um, Orlando Magic player of all time. So at point guard, I'm putting Penny Hardaway. At shooting guard, Tracy McGrady. At small forward, Nick Anderson, kind of a forgotten legend of the Orlando Magic. At power forward, I'm going to have Dwight Howard. No surprise here. He has to go power forward because someone else is going at center, right? But Dwight Howard won uh, three DPOYs um, as a member of the Orlando Magic. And then at center, I've got Shaquille O'Neal. Um, I, like I said, when you're talking about both players were able to lead their teams to the NBA Finals, both had kind of improbable runs to get there. I got to give the edge for the all-time greatest player in Orlando Magic history to Dwight Howard. I really wanted to give it to Shaq, but he was a three-time DPOY was Dwight Howard, so I'm giving it to Dwight Howard. um, I got the head coach for the Orlando Magic as Stan Van Gundy, and then Nikola Vici. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. I'm having him come off the bench along with um, Jameer Nelson, Horace Grant, Daryl Armstrong, Hendo Turkoglu, Dennis Scott, and Rashid Lewis. So here is my all-time team. You can see that there, and then I'll hold it up, get it good for the camera there. So just in case I didn't pronounce some of those names correctly, um, there is my all-time team for the Orlando Magic. Like I said, they've been to two NBA Finals, um, and one of, I believe, 10 teams have never won an NBA championship, but they have been to the NBA Finals twice. So one of 5 teams that haven't won a championship but have been to the NBA Finals. Um, haven't won an NBA championship. Now, two two of those 10 teams that have never won an NBA championship, or but have been, or two of the 5 teams that have been to the NBA Finals but haven't won a championship, have won ABA championships. But that's a whole nother subject about the Pacers and the Nets and their ABA championships and how that should be stacked against winning an actual NBA championship. So, um, but anyway, I think that this is a surprisingly good squad for a team that has never won a championship. Um, and yeah, um, putting prime Dwight Howard and prime Shaquille O'Neal on the same team, um, you know, that's a team. Well, I don't know if it's a prime Shaquille O'Neal. He was really in his prime in Los Angeles, but a pretty good young, healthy Shaquille O'Neal against a prime Dwight Howard. Or with a prime Dwight Howard. If they'd ever had the two of them on the team at the same time, they would have won a championship for sure. Um, but what do you think they would do against the other all-time teams? I'd say against the other all-time teams is stiff, stiff competition. So um, maybe not do as well. But um, there's still, I feel like, definitely for an all-time team that's never won an NBA championship, they got to be near the top of the list. I mean, so I think is a it's a pretty good all-time team. So, all right, I am going to stop the video there, and thank you everyone for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the stuff that helps my channel. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Dragonfire out.